Again, this is a more calm and discussion-filled video. I'm not actually angry. But something I want to help get through people's heads is that 40K will never have consistent writing, unless it's to put the universe back in constant stalemate. Now, what do I mean by 40K doesn't have consistent writing? Well, real-world answer is that all the expanded universe stuff for Warhammer 40K is to help push models. GW and its writers will come up with any excuse to add in new models. Or just tell you that they've always been there, you've just never heard of them before. Centurions and Rogaldor tanks. Which then to the rules of everything is true and nothing is true. Basically, we can do whatever the hell we want, whenever the hell we want. Because it's easier to introduce new things into the series if everyone is an unreliable narrator. But that single thing continues to either escape people's brains or they choose to ignore it. Which then allows them in their minds to complain about inconsistent writing, or as they call it, lazy writing. Like, as a Thousand Sons player, the Thousand Sons used to be just regular guys inside rune-inscribed armor that helped support their sorcerers. Which was then later retconned into them being dusts inside suits of armor that their sorcerers puppet around. I don't know, seems kind of like a big change, but no one seems to give a shit about that, huh? Well, what about the Grey Knights? The Grey Knights used to not have psychic powers at all, and then suddenly in 5th edition they do. Having the Emperor's gene seed, no less. I don't see anyone complaining about that. What about the book Gaunt's Ghost, where there's a scene in that book where a bunch of Iron Warriors get cut down by a well-entrenched guardsman squad in an elevator? Because back in the day, Space Marines weren't written to be what we know about them now. They're just slightly altered humans in power armor. Oh, but Gaunt's Ghost is cool, so we don't complain about it. If you're coming to 40K for consistency, you are going to be disappointed. 40K as a whole is a universe of a bunch of kids in a sandbox saying, well, my guys can do this. And then there's the one big kid who gets to set all the rules for this week. Or as Bricky put it, Warhammer 40K is 1/3 greatest stories you'll ever read, 1/3 and 1/3 absolute shit. 40K's just never been consistent like that. And the sooner you learn that, the more fun you have with it. And trust me, I've had my fair share of arguments and discussions, and the people that I am basically talking about continue to try to move the goalposts. Even though Inquisitor Obi-Wan Sherlock Clouseau is still canon, just as much as the terrifying might of the Norn Emissary. Can't think those two things are totally consistent at all. As well as writing quality consistent and lore consistent. 40K has never been consistent.